Welcome to my first video post. I'm Cassie. I'm a clinical dietitian, and I have a very strong connection to the divine, which is why my channel is called Divination Dietitian. I just wanted to share a message. So, this is my first post ever, and I created this channel 2 years ago. And because of fear of judgment or persecution, I never once made a post. And this is a little terrifying for me because I have some type of persecution wound from a past life. I don't know, but it's definitely hard for me to record myself and put myself out there to all of you people. But I just wanted to share. So, some of the synchronicities that I've been receiving over the last several weeks has been about David. So, David the shepherd, David the king. And I just wanted to share a message that I received from God. And we're going to dive into a little bit more about David and what that message is. So, first, let's talk about David and the secret garden. So, this was the message that I received while I was walking my dog, which you might see him walking around, by the way. Also, this message has been delayed all week because I bought a desk and I have missing pieces and now I can't finish putting it together. So I'm literally sitting on a stool and I don't care because I'm not delaying this anymore. It's been 2 years. So if you see my dog, just kind of ignore him. But let's get into the actual message. So let me just tell you how this actually happened. So I was walking my dog around the pond and I was listening to music and it was like drumming. It was like tribal music, it was like, cause I have Native American in my family, but it was like tribal drumming music. And I looked down at the song and it said David in the Secret Garden. And I thought it was weird. Like, why would it be called that? And then I had to look at it a second time and then it was something completely different. So like my eyes were like playing tricks on me. And that's been happening like for the last couple weeks. And I'm like, where did I see David in the Secret Garden? That was so strange. But this is actually the message. So I hope you don't click off. So, so David in the Secret Garden. This is a short tale of remembrance. So David has always felt a faint pull in his chest, like a soft humming beneath his ribs, guiding him somewhere he could not yet name. It was not loneliness nor longing, but something older and ancient. It was an ancient memory just beyond reach. One evening, as dusk brushed gold across the horizon, David wandered farther than usual from the village path. The air felt different, thicker, enchanted, as if the earth herself was inhaling. A faint glow shimmered between the ancient trees. He stepped toward it. Behind a curtain of vines, he found an archway of stone. Carved into it was an 8-pointed star, worn by rain and time, but still radiant as though lit from within. When David touched the stone, the vines parted. The door opened. Inside was a secret garden, a place untouched by seasons, held in perpetual dawn. Blue lotus flowers floated on a still pond. White roses glimmered with dew like constellations. A single cherry tree in full blossom released petals that fell but never touched the ground. They dissolved in tiny sparkles of light. At the center, a woman in emerald robes knelt beside the water. She was tending the plants with a gentleness that made the air vibrate. Her presence felt familiar, ancient, like someone he had known before he was born. You found the way back, she whispered without turning. David stepped closer. How do I know you? He asked. She smiled, and the blue lotus blooms opened wider, responding to her breath. Because this garden lives inside you, she said. It always has. She placed a small seed in David's palm, golden, warm, pulsing with life. This is the seed of your heart, she said. The world taught you to forget it, But here in the secret garden, you remember who you are. As she guided David's hand into the soil, the ground glowed. The seed sprouted instantly. First a green shoot, then leaves, then a flower shaped like a tiny star. It mirrored the one on the archway. What grows here is what you nurture within, she said. Compassion, grace, mercy, faith, hope, forgiveness, courage, unconditional love, self-respect, and sovereignty. All the gifts you were born with but forgot. David felt tears rise, not of sadness, but of recognition and remembrance. I want to stay here, David whispered. You cannot, she said gently, but the garden stays with you. Every time you choose love over fear, patience and understanding over resentment, you walk through that door to the secret garden again. The petals around her rose in a spiral of light. The garden dissolved and the forest returned. But the seed, the little green star, remained glowing in David's heart, expanding and pulsing, illuminating his path, helping him make decisions and actions with love, not fear, that nurture his inner garden and make him bloom out of wholeness, not of lacking something outside of himself. David walked home different than he came, not because he had discovered a secret garden, but because he remembered he was one. So that message was so powerful for me because I was holding on to so much resentment towards my mom still, towards my dad. And when I say, I've been single for 7 years, I don't have any kids. I live alone with my dog. I don't live near my family. I don't see them very often. And so it's something that really made me realize that I was still holding on to some resentment, which I thought that I had processed and healed. And the Divine Mother, the Holy Spirit, stepped in, and I was able to bring back wholeness and balance within my heart. And that has been happening for several months now. It's not something that happened overnight. And if you follow my channel, I'm going to share a lot of things regarding me swimming with humpback whales in Tahiti several months ago, and all these different revelations that I've had, as well as obviously lots of different things with healing and nutrition and how to help heal your body and your heart so that you can anchor in and hold more light, so that you can ascend into a higher frequency and start attracting what you desire in your reality. But also to call you into action, because that's what we're being called to do. So, please hit that like button. Please be my first followers and follow me on this journey. And, of course, if you are interested in having any guidance, I will put my email below. If you are needing help with nutrition or healing your body or helping me teach you to heal yourself, okay? I would love to do that. So one of the other things that started to come up about David, so again, that was just a random, what I call random incident where I saw that song called David in the Secret Garden, which that's not what that song was called. It was just what I saw. My eyes were playing tricks on me. And then, the next day I woke up and I've been having really crazy dreams, but I woke up crying and I started singing Rejoice, Rejoice. And I'm like, it was a Christmas song, but I hadn't heard that song in so long. And I'm not someone that loves Christmas. I'll be honest with you. Like it is so distorted, and what it has come to be, it's all about consuming and consumerism and buying and spending money and really kind of inflating all of these, companies and corporations to make more money. It is not about Christ. And so it really bothers me. And that's why I stopped participating in it. And so, but what's amazing is that it is about Christ. And I'm actually it is, that's what Christmas is for. But I don't even get a tree anymore. You know what I mean? But I woke up singing Christmas songs, and I don't play Christmas music. I haven't been anywhere that plays Christmas songs. And so I had to look up the lyrics. I had to type in rejoice, rejoice, because I couldn't remember what song it was. And so the song is actually O Come, Emmanuel. And the version of the song was King and Country, which is my favorite, but there's a lot of different versions out there. But the most powerful one that I feel is the one from King and Country. So please go listen to that. And so I'm just going to read the lyrics to you, and we're going to kind of go into a little bit more about David and what this message is about. So the lyrics are, so O come, Emmanuel. O come, thou day spring. Come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou key of David. Come and open wide our heavenly home. Make safe the way that leads on high, and close the path to misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel. I'm not going to even attempt to try to sing that right now. The fact that I'm even doing this recording is already terrifying enough. Stage fright has always been a thing for me. So anyway, if you want to listen to the song, please go listen to it, because it is so powerful and it is a call to action. So the translation of the song, so the song is a longing prayer calling for Emmanuel, God with us, to return and free humanity from spiritual exile, sorrow, and darkness. Emmanuel is God dwelling among humanity. Day spring is the rising light ending spiritual night. Key of David is the one who opens the way to liberation and divine access. We are David. I'm David. You're David. The song rejoices that the one who is being called upon will come, a promise of restoration, joy, and salvation. So who is David? So David, the shepherd. David was the youngest of 8 sons in the family of Jesse in Bethlehem. So because he was the youngest, he was given the humble job of tending the sheep as a shepherd. So he learned courage and responsibility at a young age. He defended his flock from lions and bears, not by strength, but by his faith and precision with his sling. He developed a deep intimacy with God alone in the hills. He played the harp, worshiped, and wrote early versions of the Psalms. So this is super prevalent to me personally, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this as well. But, again, I've been single for 7 years, and I have felt like I have been exiled from family and friends. I don't have a lot of girlfriends. They're always competing with me. And, I think it's because, people think I'm really pretty, and I'm not saying that in a conceited way, but every girl that I've ever tried to be friends with has always been in some type of competition with me. I've only had a few very close friends. And so that has always made me feel sorrow, because I don't want to compete. I'm like the least competitive person. And so anytime a girl starts to compete with me, or I'm very sensitive to energy, so I immediately feel it. And so I'm just like, you know what, you can have it, whether it's competing for attention, competing for a guy, competing for what we're going to wear or whatever, being in the spotlight. I don't care to be in the spotlight. I don't care to compete for a guy. And so for me, this was super prevalent for me, because I have been set apart, and I have been able to have this closeness with God that a lot of people have not had the privilege to have. And it has really helped my spiritual gifts develop over these last few years. And I feel like that's also why I'm very similar to the story of David. So again, alone in the hills, he played his harp. I have been so drawn to the harp recently, and please comment and let me know if any of this resonates with you. But I have harps in my Etsy cart right now. I am not musically inclined. I do not play any instruments. I barely sing. And so it's just really funny because I have felt this like really strong pull to play the harp or learn how to play the harp. So again, like, so his, David's solitude became his training ground for his kingship. So, he learned to lead gently. Shepherding taught him to guide, protect, and care. The same qualities God later wanted in a king. How was David chosen by God? So while King Saul still sat on the throne, God sent the prophet Samuel to anoint the next king. So when Samuel saw David's older brothers, who were tall, strong, impressive, he assumed one of them must be the chosen one to be the next king. But God said, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And that's 1 Samuel 16:17. David was brought in from the fields, still smelling like sheep, and God chose him to be the next king. This showed that God values character over status, heart over image, and faithfulness over perfection. So just to be clear, I'm a Capricorn moon, and Capricorn sun, obviously. I have a lot of earth strong Capricorn energy. I am very type A. I'm very perfectionist, which is, again, me not being able to do this message. I've been delaying it again. It's already been 2 years since I created this channel, and I never did a post, but I bought a new desk because I felt like I needed a desk, and I bought a new rug and new pictures and new this and that. And God was telling me that he was not asking for a performance. And here I was setting the stage, right? And because there was missing pieces in my desk that I ordered, and now I can't finish putting it together, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's faithfulness over perfection. God is not asking for perfection. He is not asking for performance. He is asking for authenticity. He is asking for faithfulness. And so today I'm doing this message without my desk, without my room set up, for me to be able to provide all of these energies and channels from the divine. And I just think it's funny because it's so true. Like, I was literally setting the stage, and it's not a performance. So, back to this. So David and Goliath, the test of faith, right? God is testing me right now, and he's testing you. David's heart was revealed when he faced Goliath. He was not a soldier. He had no army. He only had his sling and faith. He said, the battle belongs to the Lord. With one stone, he defeated the giant, proving that God's power works through willing vessels, not human strength. Just to be clear, we are in a spiritual war right now, and we are all being called into God's army, and he will test your faithfulness, and it is your responsibility to lead. And I am stepping into my leadership role, regardless if I have, all the things to be perfect, right? Whether or not you judge me or criticize me for this message, I don't care anymore. And being able to release that fear of being seen and that persecution wound that I've been carrying feels so liberating. And to know that I have answered the call and to be faithful to God is the most rewarding, the most rewarding thing I've ever achieved in my life. We have to be willing vessels. The moment that the moment that, David beat Goliath was the moment that he was known to Israel. So how David became king after Goliath. So David actually served in Saul's court as a musician, playing his harp, soothing Saul's tormented spirit. He was a commander and a loyal servant. But Saul became very jealous, fearing David's favor with God. So David spent years fleeing and hiding in the wilderness, which was a second kind of shepherd training. This time, learning patience, humility, and mercy. When Saul died in battle, David was anointed king over Judah. After 7 more years, he was crowned king over Israel. So why David had God's favor? Not because he was perfect. He made serious mistakes, and I have made so many mistakes in my life, and I'm sure you have. I know you have as well. He had God's favor because his heart was fully turned toward to God. He desired God above power, wealth, or fame. And I just want to be clear, if I haven't already, this is terrifying for me. I am not doing this to make money. I am a clinical dietitian. I have a job. I don't need the money. I am perfectly fine with that. Of course, your donations and anything that you want to provide to me is absolutely, I'm so grateful because I know that it's making a difference in your life. Even just your shares and your likes and subscribes means more to me than money. So I just want to make that clear. I am not here for fame. I'm not here for wealth or power. I'm actually terrified to be seen right now. And, but I can't ignore the call any longer, right? So David repented deeply when he failed. He repented deeply when he failed. David's repentance was genuine, humble, and transformative. He trusted God completely. In danger, in exile, in battle, and in triumph, David sought God's guidance. He lived with worship and gratitude. His psalms show raw honesty, devotion, and love. He led like a shepherd, protecting, guiding, and nurturing, and sacrificing for his people. God called David a man after my own heart. That's Acts 13:22. This didn't mean he was flawless. It meant he was aligned, teachable, devoted, and intimate with the divine. So today I ask you, are you stepping up into your calling? Are you being faithful to God? Are you listening to God's call to you? What can you offer humanity that you are keeping to yourself right now? What are you scared of? What is trapping you in fear? What is holding you back? You have to release and let that go so that you can step into your purpose and your destiny and what God has called your life to be. We are all brothers and sisters here. We are all on the same team, right? Or we want to be on God's team. But I know I'm on God's team. And I am choosing to be strong and resilient. And I really hope that you follow this channel because I have so many messages to provide to all of you. And I'm so excited for what is to come because I have finally broken this curse, this heaviness, these burdens from my heart. And I am here for you for support and guidance. And, please email me if you need help with healing your body, purging those wounds that you may have thought that you've healed. Please let me know below if you need help, and I'm here for you. Thank you so much for listening to this message. We are all David. We are all called to be David. Thank you, and I love you.